Number 11 Baylor men's basketball lost to unranked Texas Tech 78-68. And I'm going to show what exactly happened. Texas Tech jumped on Baylor from the start. After that 2-0 lead, they got a 16-0 run. And the first half score was 40-27. Second half, Baylor came back. They even took a 2-point lead. But Texas Tech responded. And they got a big run of their own. After Baylor took the lead again. And Baylor scored 41 points. While Texas Tech scored 38. And it's not worth it to me to go with like the foul game stuff. It really isn't. And points on turnovers favor Texas Tech 14-9. Fast break points favor Texas Tech 6-5. Points in the paint actually favor Baylor 34-32. And there's a lot more to the game than that, as we all know. Baylor didn't shoot the ball back from the field, 44.1% from the field on 59 attempts. However, 23.8% on threes on 21 attempts, which is 5 makes. That hurts. 61.1% on free throws on 18 attempts, which is 7 misses. And it's like, I wish they would make a little bit more free throws, but at the end of the day, free throws was not the ultimate difference in the game. 30 rebounds, 7 of those offensive, 8 assists, 6 steals, 3 blocks, 9 turnovers, 23 fouls. How many points off the bench? 4 plus 2, that's 6 plus 9, that's 15 points. And even Langston Love played in this game. He had 9 points. But as you could tell, he was a little bit rusty from 3. He was rusty, and Baylor did have 3 double-digit scores that combined for 14 plus 15, that's 29 plus 12, that's 41 points. And Joan Bridges was off in this game. But I knew it could have gone down to earth a little bit after that 32-point performance, because it's hard to repeat that every single game. I mean, I'm telling the truth. And Texas Tech had 18 bench points and 3 double-digit scores that combined for 16 plus 20, that's 36, plus 11, 47 points. And the rest of the players actually that scored in this game had 6 or more. So 8 plus 8, that's 16, plus 8, that's 24, plus 7, that's 31 points. And Texas Tech shot too good. 49.1% from the field on 55 attempts, 35% on threes on 20 attempts. As you can tell, that's part of the difference. And 70.8% on free throws on 24 attempts, and 40 rebounds, 10 of those offensive. 15 assists, 5 steals, 2 blocks, 11 turns, 19 fouls. So obviously we know the next game for both of these teams are in the Big 12 tournament, and they both have double byes. And since Kansas lost pretty handily, Baylor's still the 3 seed despite the loss, and Texas Tech's the 4 seed. And this only mattered for the NCAA tournament seeding, because Texas Tech is going to move up a seed now, and Baylor could have won. If they would have won this game, it could have been a 2. Maybe Baylor still could get there if they get to the championship game or even win it. So it's because of tiebreaker rules. I mean, that's why on that. And we'll have to wait and see on who they're going to play. I will say it was a very physical game, and it was questionable calls on both sides. So I'm not saying one way or the other. It's just mind-boggling to me that Baylor started the same way as that last Texas game at home on Monday. You cannot dig yourself in a bigger hole like that. I mean, now hopefully the guys learn from this lesson, and Langston Love had to get some rust off. So it's good to get him back in a rotation. I mean, again, and hopefully he could just get more reps so he can improve. And we need him. Baylor needs him this time of year. And I know Warren Washington for Texas Tech did not play, which kind of mind boggles me that Baylor beat them on the glass last time, and they didn't have Warren Washington. This time, Texas Tech won that battle, as you can tell. And it also drove me crazy that Texas Tech did have 2 other guys with 4 fouls, and they had Robert Jennings foul out, and Darion Williams and Pop Isaacs. You gotta go at the dude. Get them in their fit if they're in the game. But every team has a bad shooting night from 3, and hopefully the guys get more shots up, and for the Baylor guys, get more shots up and improve. And part of it's shot selection, part of it is you're missing some wide open shots. And they have to just use this as this game as motivation going into the Big 12 tournament, because there's automatically going to be at least one guaranteed loss left on the season, and that's the NCAA tournament. The Big 12 tournament is remain to be seen, but like I said, Baylor's only way to get up to a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament is to win the conference tournament or get to the final. That's the way I see it, and the good news is for Baylor and Texas Tech in that matter, they both have double byes. So Iowa State's obviously going to be the 2 seed, and Houston's the 1. Now, if BYU were to win against Oklahoma State later on tonight at home, they would be ahead of Kansas because of head-to-head. And we know Texas and TCU tied at 9-9 and head-to-head, and Oklahoma's ahead of Kansas State because of head-to-head. And Cincinnati's ahead, I would think, is ahead of of UCF. But we'll have to wait and see what really happens here. Yeah, Cincinnati beat UCF in that one for sure. Both meetings actually, not just one, but both. So yeah, so Cincinnati is going to be 11. UCF is going to be 12. Now 14. The last place team, Oklahoma State, I believe they beat West Virginia, but I'm just going to double check that real fast. Yeah, they did back in January. And those two teams never played each other again. So West Virginia is going to be automatically at the bottom. So I think it's pretty much solidified as long as, assuming that Oklahoma State loses to BYU. But obviously if Oklahoma State beats BYU at BYU, which I don't know how likely that is, then it becomes interesting, and BYU could drop down to 99, and then who knows what's going to happen with the multiple tiebreakers. And we know that Baylor is probably going to, assuming BYU wins, they're going to play Kansas or the winner of that Cincinnati-West Virginia game again. I mean, that's the thing. They're going to play one of those 3 teams right there. That's just me assuming that BYU wins. But if BYU doesn't win, I don't have a clue. And I know Texas Tech for a fact it's either going to be Kansas or BYU versus the winner of the UCF Oklahoma State game. Assuming Oklahoma State does lose at BYU or even straight out win, because they beat they would have 5 conference losses. So yeah, it's going to be UCF or Oklahoma State against the winner of that game against either BYU or Kansas. So we have to wait and see what happens and how this thing shakes out, especially with the last game in the Big 12 being 8 o'clock tonight, and it's going to be a late finish. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 600 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 or more, so make money off this. Of course, liking the video, comment the video, really helps YouTube algorithm so more people can see it. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people can watch. And if you're watching and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's free, the notification bell as well. And if you would have told me that Kansas was not going to be in the top 4 in the Big 12 this year, I would have laughed at you. Big time. And I know Hunter Dickinson got hurt, so we're going to his shoulder, and he's going to get an MRI on Monday. We're going to have to wait and see what happens.